Hello, Rev families. It is the last week of session 4, and I'm here in this video to share a little bit about the Right Now Media video and this last week's take-home conversation, as well as giving you some information about what comes next in session 5, as well as the survey that went out in the email this week. This week's devotions, service, and rituals and traditions are great ideas for your family to keep doing even after this session is over. In the devotions, you're asked to put together a jar or a basket of names of people you'd like to serve and pray for this week. It's a great thing you can be doing as a whole family. It's also something you could do as an individual and just renew those names as time goes on. Some can go back into the jar, and some you may want to trade out from week to week. It's a good practice to start building together. The service opportunity is called Secret Service. It's a little cheesy, but the idea is that you secretly serve others in your family, and you never reveal that it was you who did it. My favorite of this is to do all of the dishes. In our house, it's just me and Garrett, though, so he always knows it's me. It's not as much of a secret for us. But for friends and family, we've dropped off flowers at the front doorstep. We've given money to those who are going to mission trips, various things like that. We've done a service, and we've done those anonymously together as a family. So that's something that you can consider incorporating into your family life regularly. The last one is rituals and traditions. And you're asked while you're getting ready for bed or while you're in the car or over a meal to share a way that you have been served and to express gratitude for that. And that's a practice that really we can all do more of. To share gratitude and to share stories with one another is just such a beautiful thing. It reminds us that we are not alone in the world and that others need us as well. And practicing gratitude in general makes people happier and gives us a positive outlook. And so that's a piece of faith that I recommend that you find a way to incorporate into your family life. And if this rituals and traditions prompt works for you, great. If there's another way that you're doing that or another way you want to try that out, I encourage you to do that this week. Okay, so this week's Right Now Media video is the last one in the Why Jesus series by David Nasser. And it's really this heartfelt look at the death and resurrection and ascension of Jesus Christ. I really recommend that you take the time to watch this first middle section, especially as we prepare for Easter, because it's interesting to see the holy sites alongside it. It's interesting to look at the Garden of Gethsemane. It's interesting to look at Via Dolorosa and to look at the Holy Sepulchre. I recommend it if you haven't had a chance to see any of the videos beforehand to check out at least the middle section of this video. It really does a good job of talking about this really, really difficult death and concept in our faith of Jesus' death and resurrection. Now, David's videos in this series have given us a really great understanding of the holy sites that he's visited. He's talked through some really big, difficult questions with us in the last few weeks if you've been watching those. But this video, towards the end, gets a little difficult to work with and to understand and to have conversations about. And so if your family is up for the challenge, if you're up for the challenge, I encourage you to try it and to have conversations and know that I'm here to support you and the pastors are here to support you if questions do come up and you're unsure about things. But at minute 14 and 15 seconds or so in the video, David Nasser transitions to talking about the return of Christ. And this really can raise a lot of difficult questions because David's beliefs are different from ours in the Lutheran Church. And so he'll talk really pointedly about this is the exact place that this is going to happen, or this is exactly the way something's going to go about. And simply just, we don't know. We realize that Revelation has a lot of mystery to it, and a lot of Revelation is very metaphorical. If you weren't able to join us for the Revelation series that we did during Advent this year, all of those sermons are up on the website. I encourage you to check out the link in the email to go and look at the sermon series Revelations. Pastor Liz and Pastor Don did a really great job talking about the book of Revelation and how we understand and interpret it as Lutherans. So if you haven't been able to look at those, or if you weren't able to join us for Advent, I recommend checking that out as you go into this conversation with your student if you choose to do so. In short, though, Revelation is not a book meant to be the prediction of the future events. It really can be a comfort to us, though, knowing that God holds the future in his hands as we read through it. It can also be a challenge for us to look at our present realities and think differently about the way that the world can look now. If you do choose to go in and continue watching this end of the video, it's totally up to you. That's your option. I just want to share with you that David refers to the Valley of Megiddo as the exact location of the Armageddon. Now, in the Bible, Armageddon is actually only used once, and it appears in Revelation chapter 16, verse 16. And if you take a look at that verse, it doesn't give us an actual location. What it is it's metaphorical language, and they use the word Armageddon as a name for the place of this metaphorical battle that happens. So it's not that specific as David lays it out to be. With all that being said, though, like I've said before, you're welcome to end the video early at the 14-minute mark if you'd like to do that. There is a transition screen that comes up that says, "Why Jesus?" And then there's a map of Israel and Jerusalem. So you do have a little bit of time in there. If you want to end the video, you're welcome to do that. Or I encourage you to consider David's closing message with a very careful approach. And like I said before, know that I'm here and the pastors are here to help with any questions or concerns that you have and to support you and your family in this faith conversation if you choose to go there. Otherwise, the rest of the video, like I said, is great. It's a great opportunity for you as a family to talk about the death of Jesus, his resurrection, and the ascension as well that happens in Acts. And so I encourage you to watch that part of the video for sure. Okay, so also this week in the email, you will see a link to a survey. I'd like to collect those back by next Monday. It gives you about a week to put those together. And really that survey is for me and for the Children's Student and Family team to look at how the changes to the confirmation program this year went. We've changed the curriculum, we've changed the format, we've changed some of the requirements, and I want to know how that's been for you as families. I want to know how that went for your students, and I'll be asking them the similar questions as we wrap up the year here as well. But especially your input as parents is really important to me, so please take a few minutes to answer just those few questions in the survey for me and send that back. The last thing I have to share with you then is about Session 5. Our last session kicks off on April 6th at 6:30. We start with combined worship in the sanctuary, so come a little early, join us for that time, and then we'll roll right into small groups that night. But the rest of our weeks together for the end of the year then are about other denominations and other religions. And really we're looking at what it means to be a good neighbor to someone who believes differently than us. So we have some great speakers coming in from the Jewish Community Council as well as from the Islamic Society in Minnesota. And then we also have other youth directors from Catholic churches in the nearby area to come and join us. So please, parents, feel welcome to join us for those speakers. If that's something you would like to learn about as well, you're welcome to grab a seat in the back or just sit with your students in their group. I'll be sending things home for you as well throughout those weeks that go along with the conversations that we have. And you're, like I said, you're invited to join us. So please don't feel like you have to stay away. Don't feel like if your kids are like, I don't want you there, that you can't come in. You're welcome to come in and find a seat nowhere near your kids if you still want to come in and learn about this. This is as much for you as it is for them. So please feel welcome. Please come and join us for Session 5. And if you have any questions as we go through that last session, as we finish up the year, please let me know. I'm always here for you to call, text, email, just drop on by the office if that works better for you too. I hope you all are doing well. I pray you have a blessed and happy Easter, and hopefully we will see you during Holy Week. Many blessings. Bye, Rev families.